me first introduce Dave Cooper, co-founder and host of Dave Cooper Live. With decades of experience in industrialized construction, Dave's career has been defined by a passion for pioneering off-site construction methods and a talent for generating compelling content on the Dave Cooper Live platform, showcasing those who drive transformation within the built environment. Dave's role as an industry consultant has allowed him to share insights on a global scale through keynote speaking and hosting exclusive in-person networking events. Anchoring the Dave Cooper Live show and broadcasting live on location events underline his skills in content creation and community building within the AEC and real estate development community. He has conducted over 3,000 interviews with leading industry experts, new entrants, and key stakeholders within the ecosystem of the built environment. On a mission to facilitate the transition of industry practitioners and developers towards smarter, more efficient, sustainable building practices, his expertise in volumetric modular construction and knack for demystifying complex industry topics has made him a community builder that believes that we can learn from each other and build it better together.
So my name is Dave Cooper, and I have been traveling the world showcasing innovation in construction for roughly the last 7 years. A lot of you I've known, a lot of the factories I have been to that's in here. So as Dave Cooper Live, we hope you connect with us, learn with us, and grow together like Jennifer was saying. Who is Dave Cooper Live and what is DCL? DCL, we take a comprehensive look at the intersection between design, constructability, and how we are living in thoughtfully created spaces. We have equal parts interest in not only what we're building, who we're building for, and how we are going to keep building into the future. What are the people going to look like that are living in our products today and tomorrow, right? We're talking about constructability. Funny enough, this term is something that we've been talking about, and now it's been coming up several times just at the Mass Timber Show yesterday. We're not talking about compromise. So constructability is the ease and efficiency with which a structure or a project can be built. Ease and efficiency. Here's where we're going to pick up. I'm going to take you on a whirlwind of products that are helping us do this across the world. So hopefully you guys can keep up. I'm going to talk fast, but I'm more than happy to get with all of you after this presentation. So how do we do this and still create inspiring and beautifully designed places and spaces? Anybody ever been here to the Vessel in New York City, Hamden Yards, right? It's a really cool structure, right? This brought parametric design and prefabrication together from the very start. What you're looking at here is what they call one of the flying bones. It's just one of 75 pieces to help build this building. Now, what's unique about this building is what the architect and the contractors had to say, and I'm going to read this exact quote. We weren't just imagining the end structure, but we were imagining how do you actually assemble this, and having all the contractors at the table with us from the very beginning. Everything we designed to be totally integrated, to be as efficient as possible, which allowed us to minimize the materials, optimize construction speed, and deliver on the tightest of tolerances, right? This whole project came together within a few millimeters and needed 0 adjustments on site. I bet there was a little bit, but that's what they're saying, right? So this is a purposely, collaborative process that's advancing the art of off-site construction. And as we've all heard, you need to start in the beginning. You need to start talking with all the trades and the contractors to have a successful project. And this one is super, super complex. Picture of our kids. Unfortunately, that picture was taken after we made my son climb all the way to the top and back down. But we are on a mission, not only as a team, but as a family, to actually see how industrialized construction and the adoption of technology is advancing to build it better. So this is Reframe System. They're out of the New England market, right? What are they doing? This is ex-Amazon distribution experts who've decided to start their own micro factories using small robots. They are very regional. They're using software that not only creates the digital work for the CNC and the robotic machines, it's also addressing regional building codes and regional styles. So in other words, they're doing micro factories. We all know in the United States that architecture changes every 50 miles or something like that. They're coming up with micro factories that are going to be able to solve all of that. And go for unskilled workforce that can run and work in these factories. Here's another company, Mercer Mass Timber. They are part of one of the largest mass timber companies in the world. They have now partnered up with Green Canopy Node, and what's great about them is they are combining capital technology and designing to build net zero. They have a fully integrated MEP panel solution, taking the combination of mass timber and components and modular construction to a whole new level. Now, what if one wall panel system could be a multiple solution for the same customer or multiple customers, right? This is LottaCube. Right now you're looking at a Walmart. That's one of their eyeglass departments in a Walmart. This is the same wall panel being used in a pop-up medical facility. Or how about this? How about an office space? Same wall panel. Or how about residential space? How about converting all the old buildings that all the corporations moved out of during COVID and converting them to living space? This is one solution that's doing all that. Now imagine if you could think of your wall panel system in the same exact way. How can you configure it? Scott, who was just up here, was right on when it comes to what you can truly do with a 6-step process. His is a little more complex than what I'm talking about here. This is another company that is in California, Plant Prefab, and they partnered with Cloud Apartments, and their focus is on urban infill and multifamily modular construction. They use a hybrid approach of panels and modulars. But what's making them even more unique is not just their design tool, but they're also using low voltage wiring throughout their entire complexes. A system called Domatic. It's something you want to pay attention to. Low voltage is coming. It's controlling everything from the MEPs all the way through to having your blinds go up and down and listening to some great music. But they're using a program called VDC, Virtual Design and Construction, right? I don't know if anybody ever heard the term VDC in here before. Right, there's only a couple people. So basically what their system is doing, it's returning to that word constructability, right? They are putting in critical components and making sure that the design does not get lost in translation. Going back to the vessel, you got to pre-plan up front, you got to have all the stakeholders up front, you need to have the technology to start doing this. BIM, digital twins, great, it's been here forever, but now we have AI, we have so much more that's moving forward and plugging and playing into all of this. So their systems helps them reduce risk, assess performance, mitigate costs, and schedule overruns. So in other words, build it once digitally and then build it more efficiently in the field. This is Blueprint Robotics. I was just at their manufacturing facility not too long ago, and they have just implemented a new precision planning tools that enable them to streamline their own production. How many people in here are manufacturer owners? Do we got some manufacturer owners? How many of you would actually shut down your production line to implement a new software? Anybody? Probably not. Here's the question I asked Jason Boss, the COO. I said, how did that software implementation go? He said, we had to go live. There was no shutting down our lines. There was no time to test. And not only did it work, we saw immediate results in the terms of productivity, and it directly impacted our bottom line. That partner actually was standing up here, so I'm going to give him a shout out. It was Great Tech Struckstoff WMF software program. It increased their productivity. We are to a point now where you can start plug and playing software if you have the right partners to make that happen. Very important. So I strongly encourage all of you in the room to sit here and look to your left, look to your right, and say, there are people in here who have failed, and then there's people that have sailed, and like most of us, we've all failed at some point, and we can learn from each other. So do your homework and get going with confidence. Now, back over to London. I just got back last week. This is British Offsite. Now, what's awesome about British Offsite is they didn't start out like this. This is part of Weston Homes. British Offsite was the third generation Sean Weston. He said, all right, you take that little corner of my manufacturing facility, right? You prototype your new panel system, right? They were traditional builders. They took a corner, they panelized an entire system on an assembly line process first. They figured it all out first before they went to this. They also built some mega projects like this project right here. That's their panel. That's what's being built on an automated line. It's called the Unisystem panel. They now opened that factory of Randex, and it just by coincidence, you know, they're using a Vertex software to run this line. They are doing, not even open a year, 1,000 units a year out of this factory, and they are ramping up to be at 3,000 units in the next 6 to 7 months. I have not been in any automated factory yet that is producing that level of panels at the speed they're producing. And they're doing it with affordable housing. To the right, 40% of that building, 40% of that building is affordable housing, and that's right outside of downtown London. All right, I put the devil on the screen, right? The International Code Council. Let me tell you something about the International Code Council. I have never been, have anybody ever been to their annual event and conferences? I have never been. This year we had the opportunity to go because the CEO, Dominic, reached out and said, we need the offsite community to come work with us. We want to hear from you. You do not need to be part of any association to have a seat at the table on how we are developing new codes for our systems. So if you're interested in that, I highly suggest you reach out to them or reach out to me and I'll put you in connection with them. The other side of this is they actually had a display floor, right, where the vendors were all there. And on that floor, they had companies like Blitz, NOAA, Code Comply AI. So let's talk about this. Third-party inspections waste time and it wastes money and it wastes resources every time it has to happen in your manufacturing environment. Well, we're looking at Blitz and NOAA. There is now virtual third-party inspection happening using AI and cameras. And we all know, as much as it sounds silly, that AI and cameras is much more accurate than our virtual, our physical eyes, not our virtual eyes, are. And then there's the other side, right? What about submitting plans to the building departments? That's a pain in the ass too, right? Well, that's where Code Comply is starting to come in. Code Comply is actually transforming the permitting process by converting the manual plan reviews into efficient collaboration between the users. The artificial intelligence connects it with the building department. Now, what if we could all stay connected with the customer all the way through the life cycle of the building itself through manufacturing? Well, there's a company called Gropius right here, and that's exactly what they're doing. They are connecting all the way through to the end user with a dashboard that they use called BOSS, right? Building Operating Systems. It measures how your building is actually performing. It has predictive analytics for property managers and building owners. The results? By doing this, or you're lowering your maintenance costs, there's less energy consumed, and they're getting predictable analytics to improve their process each and every day, even after the building is on site. And the most important part, your customer knows what they're getting. They may be asking for a high energy efficient project, but if you're using a dashboard like they're using, you can actually show them the numbers that matter. Homatics. I was just at a product launch over in London for this, and I will tell you that not only was it a cool product, it got the attention of Parliament. There were several Parliament members at this launch for this product because they have the same problem as we do with the homelessness and affordability. So what's cool about this is truly end-to-end. As a customer, you can design your house. You can pick your products. And then all the way through the turnkey, you'll know exactly what it costs. But what's happening on the back end is super cool. This company has partnered with manufacturers all throughout England. So when you're designing and picking, they've also secured the supply chain, all the sustainable products that are in there. So if you're a customer looking at this, you can see they have a dashboard up there. So as they're designing and picking their products, they're seeing what their carbon credit score is. So not only are they able to design their house, have their house manufactured, have their house built, now they're also getting the financing and carbon credits that are going to save them up to 25% on their mortgage. This company is controlling the whole process to include the supply chain, the manufacturing, turning over the keys, and maintaining the structures. Who's going to do all this for us, right? I mean, I look around the room, I'm no young buck anymore either, right? Who's going to come in and help us teach all this? Well, there are people out there starting to do this in a very, very big way. To the left, you'll see it's Aaron Graven, Lake Erie Electric. Maybe some of you know them. They are a part of the E-Mobility Advisory Board. And these are the people you want to start connecting with, right? They're teaching in their labs installation and maintenance, electrical infrastructure, drone technology, and advanced air mobility. Anybody know what that means? So they're teaching the cool stuff, and not only are they teaching the cool stuff, I saw it out front, you guys have a Trimble helmet sitting out there, right? And I know the HoloLens, I just caught on that might be changing as well. But Trimble has now started working with Florida A&M Mechanical University and Ohio State. We finally have the larger universities taking a look at what we're doing, and they are educating them on how to use the HoloLens, Tekla structures, Trimble RI robotics and total stations. it's finally coming out. And I know we also have Gary in here who has the offsite construction school. There is so much going on, and there's more people getting involved, and it's going to take a massive lift of the youth to get there. But if you're looking to hire people, these are some resources for you to get some of the smart folks. So how are we bridging the gap between architects, engineers, and the end user? This is a prime example. This is the Progress Group, bricks in Italy. They build concrete fabricated walls. Their factory is amazing. It's huge, it's like 400,000 square feet. There are 7 people that work in the entire factory. And not only the factory is doing that, they partnered with a company called Green Code. So in their factory, they have climatic ceilings done automated, MEPs, lighting, acoustic panels. Think about it, acoustic panels in concrete wall facility. They're connecting the full value chain and bridging the gap between the architects, the engineers, and the end user, because they're making better products that come right out of the factory directly to them. MCP. This is a super cool company. They're out of Germany. So think about custom designed, prefabricated, rough MEP solutions. That's right. They've already built all of your MEP wall systems, your bathrooms. This isn't a bathroom pod. This isn't coming with your camera. This is all of the rough-in. They ship it to you on these crates. It's an assembly product, pre-designed for quick assembly. Keyword is assembly. That's where we're going to get the speeds and efficiency when we're building in the factory. And that can go to your factory, or it can go to a job site, and it's tailored just for you. It's perfect for like healthcares, multifamily, hotels, gym healthcares. You should be looking at this. We're going to take it up a notch for some of the bigger projects like we're seeing. Victaulic, been around since World War II. These folks are right out of Pennsylvania. They got their name from victory from World War II. So what they're doing is prefabricated and pre-designed pipe joining systems. All of those orange things, not only can you put them on, you can take them off. You can store them, you can reuse them, you can come in and reconfigure your building, you can add new lines, take away from your lines. Each fitting is not only reusable, but it's recyclable as well. And they're working on some of the biggest projects in the world. This is some of the NEOM construction that they're doing. They don't do just buildings, they do full groundwork site infrastructure, and it comes to you in a modular format on a truck. Let's talk about Intelligent City, right? Now, I know a lot of you in here are steel manufacturers, and oh, Dave, you're spending a lot of time talking about wood manufacturers. It was actually somebody in this room not too long ago that said to me, Dave, my competition isn't other steel manufacturers. My competition is the timber frame world. That's who we're competing with, right? There are some processes that I'm showing you here that you really should be looking at for that incorporation. This is one of them. This is Intelligent City, right? They're using parametric design with the Internet of Things, as they say. They have a panelized system that can infinitely, is that the right word, configure and customize all of their jobs. They're using mass timber wall panels, and they have come up with a predefined panel system that allows advanced building strategies. They're using digital design and advanced data and manufacturing and robotics. Think of Lotacube, who I showed you not too long ago. They have the same type of system where they have a configurable wall system that can be used over and over and over again, no matter the project. So when you can actually offer the full value proposition of constructability, you can see the results of the planning and the value in the streamlined process. We want to build at scale. We need to streamline our process. It starts small, but then you end up going big. ICG, I think ICG's in the room too. So this is a cool project that they had. So the ICG started working with UPMC Health Center, right? It's a huge health center in the Northeast. They had a large hospital facility that they wanted to build. ICG came in and met with their general contractor. They analyzed all the data. They have something they call the Medallion Program for enhancing construction safety, compliance, and cost savings, right? So what did they do? They came in, they looked at the entire project, they got with the general contractor, and they said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to build a pop-up facility right next to where we're building this hospital, and we're going to prefabricate all of your bathroom pods in there. And this is what you're seeing. You're seeing a 300% increase in production and throughput, 50% labor reduction, and a predicted $5 million savings. Who wouldn't want to give a customer a predicted $5 million savings? Split the difference at least, right? Give them half, keep half for saving it for them. So this is what they had to say. This changed easily in Rivers. That was the general contractor. We are being invited to projects that we have never thought possible. Folks, it's all coming back to data analytics. how we're looking at all of our information. Now, this next slide's not a kiss up to Howick. It deserves to be in here, even though, you know, they're good people. So, but let's talk about what they're doing when you have Howick technology involved. This is the Victorian Lane projects, right? It's 123 apartments. They have a telescopic panel technology. So maybe you're building something new and you're tying into an old retrofit. Their panels actually expand up and down, left and right, and they can fit in any environment. But here's what the contractor had to say. It reduced the installation time by 50%, reduced the waste, and reduced the labor costs. And they were using QR codes to make it all happen. So let's talk about how far you can go with prefab construction. This is in here more of an inspiration. To the left is Gearin. Anybody ever seen Deadliest Catch, right? Guess where that is? That is right up where the Deadliest Catches film. Gearin put that whole project on a vessel, modular, and shipped it up there. You can actually see it in one of the shows. No delays, no missing parts. And that project went up there. This one to the right, Dorche. Anybody know of Dorche? Ever hear of Dorche out of Turkey? Dorche is the largest modular manufacturer in the world. They do 400 to 500 units a day out their door. They are mainly in the rapid deployment solution, military solutions, but they're doing incredible things. They ramp up from 1,000 employees to 2,000 employees overnight. With that though, that's 10,000 feet up on a mountain. They took their modules. So the challenges are limited access, remote location, harsh weather. They were able to do all of that with offsite construction. So the point is, it's really up to all of you out there to kind of, how far are we going to go? How high are we going to go? We need to start looking at what's changing, because digital BIM products, they were the future, but now they're part of the future because there's so many other things coming in. So that's all I have for you. 20 minutes, sorry, Cindy, but thank you, everybody.